Hi Mary and hi Libby.
Hello.
Hello. We meet here in your beautiful and amazing store in Tauranga, which is on the east coast of the Northern Island in New Zealand. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? Maybe age starts.
Libby and I have owned the shop for 4 years, and we High Street Boutique, and we also have a organic kiwi fruit orchard up in the hills, and we just live for the moment. That's about it.
How about you, Libby?
So, well, I am 23 years old, Joshua, and at the moment I'm still living at home with both my parents, and I am working at a school as a teacher aide.
So you're a teacher?
A teacher aide.
What's that?
So we help those kids that struggle a little bit more with their learning, and so we'll be in the classroom and we'll just go around and add that extra support. Yeah.
And sometimes you help out in the shop.
Yes, I come here most days.
She comes here every day.
Yeah, I do the bit that Mum struggles with, the computer.
Our online shop,
Yeah, to upload all the products.
She gives me a day off every
Yeah.
week.
And Mary, tell us a bit more about yourself. I mean, what have you been doing, family-wise, professional-wise?
Oh, I'm a free spirit. I have a son in England who's 43, and him and his wife own a business called Crusaders.com, and they have 2 little children, and he's and I have another daughter who's a beekeeper, my husband and and we're just sort of, I don't know, what about me? I try all sorts in life, don't I, Libby?
What did you
Started
try in
as
your life?
nursing, and then
Nursing?
and then went off and saw the world, and came back with my son, and got into property, and we've also recently, last 7 years, we own a church down the
You
South
own
Island.
a church?
A church?
What does that mean?
Refurbished
A
church.
beautiful old church.
So it was converted into a house, and it's in the South Island.
Oh, wow. It was
Oamaru.
converted in a
Oamaru.
house, so
Yeah.
one can live in this church.
Yeah, and it's on an acre with an orchard. A lady lives in it. It's a Catholic church, but she's a spiritualist. And she lets people who haven't got much money come and camp there, and she looks after the underprivileged, and so we feel it's got a good soul. Yeah, the church.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and what else? I'm a South Islander, and I've lived in a few places around the world. Yeah, but home is home. Home is with the family at the moment, while we all go into 4 weeks. What is it? 4 weeks. Isolation.
We have a special moment here because just now it has been announced that also New Zealand will go into isolation, which means public life will be pretty much closed down due to coronavirus, which means you have to close your shop. So what does that mean for you? How do you feel about that?
I think we feel okay because there is support offered here for businesses, and also because we do have our online shop as well. So yeah, and we do have other options like private appointments or something that's a bit different while things are a bit different.
And we're New Zealand made, and we have we take in trades, exchanges, and swaps. We're open for any kind of.
It's kind of another opportunity to do things different.
And
Wow.
So
In a sense.
we love our New Zealand labels, and we think we're okay because
And
support
we'll have-
locals big now.
Yeah.
You have been supporting locals, which now makes you more independent, of course.
It does. It does. We had a French en blanc white party last weekend. You have to wear white, and up to 1,000 go. Well, a few ladies were rushing in here the day before because their clothes from China hadn't arrived. So we sold a few white outfits.
We don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you like about your present life? Maybe this time I start with you, Libby.
Ooh. So I think that I'm very lucky to, to still live at home, and that I don't have to worry about those extra pressures of being very independent, and then it kind of opens things up for me. So I was actually saving for travel, but we'll kind of put that aside for now. But I think to still have that support without those pressures, and I live in a very, very beautiful place. We have a very beautiful home. We have our own bushwalks and things like that, down to the river, and so much nature where we live. And so right now I'm just glad to have a family that's happy to still have me around so that I can enjoy my life without those pressures.
Yeah.
Thank you. What is it for you, Mary?
I totally love my life in the shop, talking to the customers. That's the reason I get up in the morning and I come to work, whether they buy or I'm more interested in the person and all about them. And we've met some absolutely amazing people here, friends from all over the world, and just love people. I just love hearing about them and their stories of life. I just thrive on it.
And I love you.
What do you find challenging at this time of your life? Is there something that's challenging?
I think for me it's so much is unknown, which is also an exciting thing, but I feel like nothing is certain for me, like relationship wise, work wise. There's just so many things, and sometimes it's hard to find a direction, and I think that's what I'm finding hard right now for myself.
And you've had to put on hold your travels.
Plans.
And I don't know if the hard is to keep going through the virus, but I just got such a lot of love and caring people around that I know we're going to be okay. I'm a lot better for it. We're just got to look out for each other.
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints. I think we live in paradise. Yeah.
Talking about paradise, so my next question would be, how do you look at women's situation in New Zealand regarding equal rights, payment situation, and maybe there is a difference in opinion regarding to generation, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think in New Zealand that women do have a really strong voice. I do, in my experience, they do. And there's kind of that attitude that women can do what men can do, and I think that's sort of a part of it for us. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure because I can't compare, but maybe being a young country, we're sort of ahead in some ways, maybe. So I think, and as a woman, a young woman, I feel very empowered, and it could be the generation I've grown up in as well, and the things that have come out in my time. So I feel great being a woman in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Good to hear that. Mary, what's your look?
I think I'm very lucky because I have a husband who lets me be me. So I feel I can do whatever I like. You know, I follow my dreams and he totally supports me almost. And I've been able to grow. And I'm just lucky, so I probably.
And would you say this is the same for other women, or how is it for
we have a few couch stories? No, I'm probably one of the lucky ones. Just we lead quite independent lives, but we're quite home buddies at night, and I just think that we're allowed to grow as individuals. Is probably why I've been together nearly 30 years, married. Yeah, seems to work.
So on a personal level, you were saying you have been very privileged. If you look at women's life in a more public way, what would you say? Or has there been a change in the last, 40 years?
I think women have been very fortunate continually, I suppose, because mainly in New Zealand we're a lot more equal, you know. The woman at home share the load with the housework with the men. And
but in your life, do you think that's changed?
No,
because it used to be quite segregated though, didn't it? Like women doing women's work and men doing men's work.
I guess so. It's not like that now. No. It
So
isn't,
I
is it?
think there would have been a change, but not one that I've witnessed.
When I was young, it was like that. Yeah, I've come off a farm.
It was more like the classical role play.
Yeah, it was.
And this opened up.
It does.
now.
And
Yeah.
now that we work, we don't. Yeah, we feel a bit stronger, don't we?
I've always been in that life.
I know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the way you've been brought up.
Isn't that change? But you have stories.
So now I would come to my last question, which is what tip would you give women in the world regarding the fact that many women are not as fortunate maybe to have equal rights and equal possibilities? But what would be your tip? And maybe now we start with Mary and have Libby have the last word.
Get to know a woman through here, and I feel that they need to dress and be, as you get older, just dress for themselves and be themselves, not for someone else. Or, you know, my husband always goes, just if he doesn't like something, I know it's boring. It's good. I leave it on. And if he says, oh, I like that, I know it's boring, so I run and change because I'm a bit out there. But what am I saying?
Yeah.
Lost it then.
Dress for yourself
Individuals.
and
Individual
follow your style.
I really encourage women to just be themselves and not live for their peer pressure. You know, if they want to wear mini skirts at 70, wear mini skirts. Just be themselves, and they will glow.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Libby, what's the tip for women?
Well, I feel I've always been around very strong women, like my mum and all my mum's sort of crazy friends, and they've all been, yes, I think it's that being true to yourself or finding what works for you, because I'm very different to my mum, and I just follow myself. But I think, I don't know, I guess when women come together and, you know, being open and understanding, not, you know, nobody has to be a certain way, I think. I don't know.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this mother-daughter inspiring moment. All the best.
Thank you.